welcome to this week's Dux-Soup webinar. In this webinar, Giles Garnett, the Head of Professional Services, will introduce Dux-Dash, a new feature that lets you manage Dux-Soup subscriptions, your CRM, access Dux-Store, track your campaign funnel performance, and so on and so forth. Live chat is being monitored by me, Jin, the Head of Customer Support, and at the end of the webinar, Giles will be answering questions you might have during the webinar. Thank you for joining us today, and let's start.
Hello everyone, it's Giles here, and thank you, Jin, for the introduction. Hopefully you can all hear and see okay today. I'll take things nice and slowly so we don't, so give the screen a bit of time to, oh, there we go. Let's close that one down. So we give the screen a time to refocus and make sure everyone can see that. We have had some problems with Demio in the last, over the last few months. I'm aware of that. Hopefully we'll try and get that fixed sooner rather than later. But as Jim said, we have, as of last Friday, I believe it was, released version 7.4 of Dux-Soup, which we're very excited about, with two main components, which we're very proud of. We've got the Dux-Soup dashboard, or more affectionately known as the Dux-Dash, and that gives you extra visibility of various aspects of what you're doing within Dux-Soup, and your automated actions and other bits and pieces. And built into that, we have the accessibility then to our first direct CRM integration, and that's been configured with Pipedrive. So I'm just going to do a few slides, a short demonstration today. We're not going to be going on for too long today. This is sort of an additional webinar to the normal schedule, thanks to the release of this one. So yeah, and then hopefully some time for some questions at the end. So the Dux-Soup dashboard, or the Dux-Dash. So from the Dux-Soup drop-down menu, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Dux-Dash button, and that then opens a new browser tab for you. And then you get a sort of a sidebar, a pop-out sidebar, which gives you these various options down the side here. So you can see you get profile, stats, etc., etc. Just to go into a little bit more detail there, you get your profile info. So that's your email account that you've logged on to, the Chrome accounts that you're logged on to Dux-Soup with. You get some funnel stats. This is the first iteration of the dashboard that we've been looking at for some time, that we know there's been a huge amount of customer demand for. You get to see what's sitting on the server as queued automations. So similar to the old test tool that we used to use to be able to interrogate or to clear your server, your activities on the server. You can now you now have visibility of this through the Dux-Dash, and you can then choose to remove things, delete things, clean up that list, and etc. You have a history of your automation of all the various automated activities that have happened on your account, and you can also see there if things have failed, and if they have, then why. Then we have the CRM connection tab. Currently, our first one there is Pipedrive. Using the Pipedrive API, we've got our first integration there. Then we have a link to the Dux-Store where you can purchase your Dux points, and I really should have turned that off 10 minutes, shouldn't I? There we go. And then you can also log out from your account there as well. So very briefly, looking at the CRM integration with Pipedrive, you have three options when you enable that functionality. You can ask you can enable any one or all three of these. You can create and update Pipedrive people from your LinkedIn profile views. So moving your contacts from your LinkedIn environment into Pipedrive. You can create Pipedrive activities for inbound LinkedIn messages, be those follow-up actions, etc., activities. And then you can also create Pipedrive activities for new LinkedIn connections. And we'll talk through some of those aspects shortly. And then from within Pipedrive, once you've installed the plugin, then you also have these options from within Pipedrive, whereby you can ask Pipedrive to carry out activities using the remote control effectively through Dux-Soup to send messages directly through LinkedIn from Pipedrive. You can update contact details, or indeed, if you've got somebody sitting within your Pipedrive environment that you wish to connect with within LinkedIn, you can send them a connection request that way as well. So just to show you in real life, let's come out of here and go into, there's my LinkedIn profile. What we'll do first of all is very briefly just show you how to get to, or we'll zoom in first so that it's not too blurred, hopefully. There we go. So to get to the Dux-Dash, we click on the bottom right-hand corner here. It's where the old Dux-Store link used to be, but now that takes you to the Dux-Dash, and that opens you a new tab, as I explained, shows the email, the Chrome account that you're logged into with DuckSoup. And then if I move my mouse over to the left, you see all the various options come up here. So the top one is your profile. With the funnel stats, if I click on that one, what we have here is a basic dashboard showing the number of profiles that you visited, those number of you've invited, the number have accepted, those that have received follow-ups, and then also those that have responded. And the basis for these stats is the tags, the automated tags that are applied within DuckSoup. So if you're familiar at all with the automated tagging that occurs, you can read about that on the support website. But the basis for these stats are those tags that are auto applied. Of course, if you click on one of the numbers here, so if you want to see who's accepted or who's received follow-ups or who's responded, you can see, you can press that and you can then get a list of those people as well. So you have that extra facility there to then be able to flick through and see who has actually responded there or who's accepted. You don't get the visited because that would be too long a list, but yeah, you can get to see some actual stats there and then flick through that and maybe carry out some sort of filtering on that. If I look at the queued automations, let's wait for that to load. It's going to happen any second. It's probably because I flicked too quickly. There we go. Maybe that's... There we go. So this here would be the queued automations. This is similar to the remote control test tool from that respect, in the fact that this provides data directly from the DuckSoup server as to what's sitting in your queue for automation. If you want to look at your history, you have that option here as well. So you can see here what has been carried out, and also whether what you have had carried out was actually successful. You get the drop-down box, and you as you can see, you can get to see the payload, the data payload there as well. So you get to see the information that's been sent. So those are the stats, and then the server visibility there. And then we come on to the CRM connections. Now, when you open this for the first time, you would get the option to download this from the marketplace, I think they call it, within Pipedrive. And then you need to link your Pipedrive account, of course, and provide the appropriate credentials. And then you enable that. And then you see here, you have these three options. You've got the create, update, Pipedrive people, as per the slide I showed earlier. Now, to demonstrate this briefly, I'm not going to have time to do all of the different aspects here, but what I'm going to show you briefly is how to get people to appear from visits carried out in LinkedIn, how they would then appear within your Pipedrive environment. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go to my network and just ask DuckSoup to carry out some auto visits to some first degree connections. And I'm going to do this very simply. I'm going to carry out a quick search here. Let's just put in, let's put in an Amsterdam filter, and we'll just carry out a few visits to profiles and see them appear then in my Pipedrive. So here I've got a list of some first degree connections. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my DuckSoup options, which I'll zoom in a little more so that hopefully you can see that okay. And I'm going to, because these people are all people who are in Amsterdam, I'm going to add a tag while I'm visiting them. There we go. And let's also make sure that the robot's running at a reasonable speed, so we haven't got to wait too long. There we go, for some information. There we go. So that's that set up. We have our list here. I'll now go to my Dux-Dash, make sure that we are enabled here. Yes, everything's turned on with regards to Pipedrive integration. And I will now ask DuckSoup to carry out some profile visits for me. Confirm those options. There we go. And now what DuckSoup will do is, as you're all familiar with, we'll carry out some auto visits, and all I've asked it to do then is tag these profiles as it goes. And then what we should see is these people will start to appear within my Pipedrive environment. So I'll just wait for this to do its thing. I now go over to Pipedrive. I've got, this is who's currently sitting within my Pipedrive environment. These are within my contacts. And what we can see now is that DuckSoup is carrying out its first visit. And once it's loaded up the data, we should then see, hopefully, these people appear accordingly within Pipedrive. This will take a second or two. And there we are. That's also something that's happening there within the background is, of course, the message bridge is checking for new messages, because you can also have your messages transferred from LinkedIn into your Pipedrive environment as well. So one thing you need to consider, though, is only going to transfer messages from people who already exist within your Pipedrive environment, and that they have those appropriate credentials from LinkedIn sitting within Pipedrive. So let's have a look. Have we got the first one coming through yet? Let's do a reload. Nope, nothing's turned up there yet. Sometimes takes a minute or two for the data to come across. And this is always a problem with a live demo, of course. Let's wait for this. Maybe I should try zooming in as well so you can see a bit more here. Let's turn that off and turn it back on again. Make sure that that's actually working. But in theory, if it was working seamlessly, of course, you would then see that these various people that I'm visiting now within DuckSoup or within LinkedIn should then be appearing within my Pipedrive. And now, for some reason, at the moment, this very minute, it's not happening, or maybe it is. Let's reload again, see if anything's come through. We have had one or two teething troubles with this. It's only released on Friday. It's, of course, it's been tested extensively, but of course, in the live environment, sometimes things don't necessarily go entirely smoothly. But oh, there we go. We've got the first of them just appeared in here. So Bastian, whose profile I visited just now. We've just seen him appear in there now. I think I had to reload the Dux-Dash there. But that's the theory there of how things then would, as you're carrying out your visits, you can ask those, you can make sure that the plugin is configured to make sure that those new contacts are appearing in your CRM. Now, one thing you can also do from within the CRM is you can select a profile within your CRM. Close that a second, and then from within Pipedrive, you have these, because we have the DuckSoup plugin installed. You have the ability to send messages directly to people from within Pipedrive. You can also ask for the contact to be updated accordingly, and also if that person doesn't exist within your LinkedIn environment, then you can send a connection request from within Pipedrive. When I say about them needing to have the correct information to be able to send a message or to receive messages, this is where you need to have the link to the LinkedIn profile and the LinkedIn ID for that to work correctly. So you need to make sure that the sets of data are matching up to make sure it works smoothly there. Let's go back to contacts and hopefully we'll see some more people appearing. There we are. We've got some more people appearing now down the bottom as we go through, and you'll see slowly these the contact information will be gradually populated here as well as that data is grabbed. So there we are. We have email addresses and telephone numbers appearing there as well as it's collecting the update payload, data payload there. So that's how we would start to add our contacts from LinkedIn into Pipedrive. As I said earlier, one thing you can also do, and I'm not going to try and demo this live now as well, because I think we might get a little bit tangled up. So just for your information here, so when messages come in from LinkedIn, in through LinkedIn, and you have all of the correct data set up, so the contact exists within Pipedrive and everything, then what you would see here is within your planned activities, you would see a timestamp against an activity that's come in with the appropriate information against that. I know it's something that that Jin in support has been looking at quite extensively, but she's probably quite busy with answering questions at the moment. So maybe when we come to Q&A, we'll ask Jin further about that. So basically, yeah, I don't want to go and spend a lot of time going into Pipedrive per se here. You can see here there we have some examples here of the text messages, the sort of information that comes in with the messages from LinkedIn into Pipedrive here. So yeah, this is where we are now with our first integration with the CRM and Dux-Soup. Of course, all of the existing functionality that you're used to within Dux-Soup, that remains exactly the same. But the added benefit now is that we now have this additional, if you like, visibility to be able to control things, see some extra statistics, be able to see exactly what's queuing on the server for you, have more control over that as well, and also see what's happened in the past and maybe any reasons for failures if automations have failed, for example. So yeah, you have hopefully increased visibility and a little bit more functionality there as well. Pipedrive is the first of the direct CRM integrations that we've completed, and say we do have, you know, if you do experience teething troubles, if you come up with problems, then of course contact support. Let us know if you're facing problems. We have noticed one or two bugs over the last few days, but we're jumping on those quickly. The development team are jumping on those very quickly and making sure that they are addressed as soon as possible. So yeah, we think this is an exciting development for Dux-Soup, and we're very, very happy with it. And say hopefully the first of more to come. So yeah, that was everything I wanted to show you today. So Jin, who's probably been busy typing away, are there some questions you've not managed to answer on the text?
Well, now a question from Steve. Can you move everything that you captured from Dux-Dash into CSV?
Can you capture everything that you in Dux-Dash?
Just basically download it from the Dash.
So I guess that then you would just be downloading your data as per usual, yes?
Yes, if probably just from the Dux-Soup. Dux-Dash is not does not support downloads at the moment.
No, we don't have. There's no sort of integration with being able to download this information here, but you can still, of course, download your data from the normal place. So I need to be on a. There we go. So you can still download your data here from the usual drop-down menu. So yeah, you can still download your CSV files from there accordingly. But no, at the moment, you cannot download the information from the Dux-Dash environment. Thanks for your question, Steve.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Another question would be, will you be able to move message information to Pipedrive at some point?
So the messages are picked up in the same way as previously when dealing with the message bridge. So the message bridge looks periodically for new messages in your standard LinkedIn mailbox and in your Sales Navigator mailbox. Now, as to whether we will have functionality to move messages across historically, that I'm not clear of. Is that something you've come across, Jin, at all?
Transfer your messages when people reply to you online on LinkedIn, but transferring older ones you can't really. So you have to have Pipedrive, then on Dux-Dash and then the messages are going to be transferred to your Pipedrive, but older ones cannot be transferred.
Yeah, so it would only be the new messages that it would pick up and transfer across. Okay.
So that's it. We do not have more questions. People
Okay,
just recording.
There was one question I was expecting to hear, which I was prepared for. So you've let me down, everybody. No. So at the moment we have this Pipedrive integration, and next in line, along the same lines, we'll be looking at HubSpot and Salesforce. We don't currently have any timescales associated with those, but those are the next ones that are going to be looked at. From within the same environment, from the Dux-Dash sidebar menu there, in the future, then we will be able to build further integrations with other CRMs. And as I say, the next on the hit list is HubSpot and Salesforce. So hopefully some exciting developments to come. Just a couple of other slides. Just to review a couple of recent webinars that were incredibly well attended and well received. We had on the 2nd of June, we had one where we looked at, I really should have turned that off, shouldn't I? One where we had Thomas Bannock from MA Templates presenting some Integromat templates for us. I believe he's had a lot of feedback from people and has been very busy, kept very busy since then. And then last week we had Tyron from presenting from Japan, which again was very well received. And if you've not had a chance to listen to that webinar or to review that webinar, then it's highly recommended. It went on quite a long time because there was some really interesting discussions and questions at the end of that. But all of the previous webinars, as always, are available via the usual links on the website. Next week, we're going to be looking at email marketing from LinkedIn automation. So looking at how you can get your email addresses out of LinkedIn and into another platform, and then what you can do from there on, and the various options as to how you can get that, how you can extract that data. So that's going to be next Tuesday, same time, same place. As usual, we have the booster and the technical sessions available, providing a lot of support to people all over the place at the moment. There's a good level of demand for these, and we've been building some integrations with all sorts of different interesting platforms with people. So yeah, lots going on there as well. Our usual useful links, which I think most of you are familiar with. One of the other things which I will add on to this for next time is our feedback.ducksoup.com link. If you have feature requests or suggestions, then that's the portal to go to. That's feedback.ducksoup.com. And from there, you can upvote feature requests or add your own suggestions as well. And of course, it's the users and the demands from the users that will help to drive further development going forward. So yeah, please familiarize yourself with that and have a look and see what's there. There's some interesting stuff been mentioned there, and you can see what's also in development there as well, what's been taken to the next step. Okay. Anything else, Jin? All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'll leave it over to Jin to say goodbye.
And see you in the next webinar. Bye.